Welcome to the last module of this course. You've progressed well. I hope you're all pleased with your performance so far. I hope I've given you feedback that's allowed you to learn and better understand this material. This particular module is also very important. It's on communication. And when you read this material or when you think about this material, once again, you're probably saying to yourself, this is common sense. The reality is communication is a very significant issue in Canadian workplaces. Communication is the #1 issue in Canadian workplaces. And there could be a lot of reasons for that. It could be that people distort information. Like, how many of you have worked in a situation where you have your superiors sort of withhold information or try to keep things proprietary because they feel that if they know something that you don't, they have more power? So does that come into play? Or is the vehicle not the right vehicle to share the message? So if you're sharing good news, what's the best way? If you're sharing bad news, what's the best way? If this were a traditional class and I were to cancel it, does it make sense that I go knock on the door of 40 people to say, oh, by the way, next Monday night there's no class? Is that an effective use of your time? Is that effective use of my time? Not to mention the fact if I landed on your doorstep and knocked and said, hi, it's me, I'm that Greg guy from St. Mary's, you'd be like, why are you here? But that's communication. Or if you want to tell bad news and you want to sort of tell people slowly, what's the best way? Also think about how has technology changed communication. Think of yourself 10 years ago to now. So like I have a telephone, I have a landline. So I live in a condo and I have a landline and I don't know why I have it, but I have it. And it's like, how many of you have a landline wherever it is that you live? I do actually, to justify, I order a lot of food and I have a landline so that I can buzz the delivery people in, but I never ever use it. And the only people that ring my landline are telemarketers or my parents. So, but how has that changed? So how has text changed things? How has social media changed things? For example, I used to work in the hotel business and I used to hire a lot of people, and when I was recruiting for positions, I would in many instances get like 50 and 60 resumes for a single position, and I'm trying to filter through these. So first of all, your resume is also a form of communication, but secondly, I would look at people and I would go search them on Facebook to see if they had the appearance that met the hotel. So what impression does communication leave in the context of if I go to your Facebook page and I start flipping at your pictures because you don't have good privacy settings and you have like a marijuana joint and a glass of wine or a beer in your hand in every picture? Do you think that's the way you want to communicate or present the product of you to me? Also consider communication. There's other things such as nonverbal communication, which is, body language, which is the tone, which is the volume, which is posture. There's a lot of different elements to communication, and how does all of this come into play? Because the bottom line is we want to have effective communication. So effective communication means that whatever message you're transmitting is sent to the sender, they understand and they get it, and potentially that there's feedback. This also involves listening to make sure that in an organization that you communicate effectively. So as always, the deliverables are fairly straightforward. We're skipping ahead a little bit. You're actually reading chapter 9 this time in McShane. Look at the PowerPoint presentation, do the word search or crossword puzzle. There's also a video clip for you to look at. There's one from the British TV show Fawlty Towers. I apologize that this is a little dated, but my mother made me watch this when I was a kid, so I knew when you watch it, you'll see that there's a lot of stuff going on that's very relevant. There's also a case on the trouble with Arthur. And the reason I chose that one is it's actually written from a professor at UNB, or University of New Brunswick, which is the next province over. The last thing as well for you to consider is you have a deliverable this week, which is an assignment. Your group case is due at Friday, November 14th at 8 p.m. So you're in a group. I assume you're working well. And so that's really important that you do a good job with that, worth 15 points on the term. Also, the other thing I want you to consider is this is it for the content of the course. So your final will be next week, but consider on Monday night, which is Monday, November 17th at 8:30 p.m. I will do a 1-hour call, which will be an exam review and exam outline, and you can do any questions and answers on anything in the course. Also appreciate when you do write that exam, it will be cumulative, so you need to know everything from Module 1 to Module 8. Consider that I want you to understand it, and I'm teaching to understanding, so this is, I hope that you won't have to study really, really hard for that, because if you're current with all your materials, you'll have a good sense of what I'm looking for, you'll have a good sense of the key concepts in each chapter, and you'll do really, really well. Once again, as always, please email me if you need anything, and also remember to be online for that webinar on Monday at 8:30. I apologize that 8:30 p.m. is a little bit late, but I know that at St. Mary's all courses, if you take a night course, it goes to 8:15, so that allows you to be done that course. You can pop over to the library and log on, or in campus somewhere or at home. And also, I'm trying not to have it too late, because I'm a morning person and I get tired late at night. So once again, if you need me, please email or reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you online.